Well, grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay. Happy Friday, everyone. It's good to be with you to talk about the intersections, the threads, the themes that run through these passages that we've been studying this week. So we have been working through the passages for this upcoming Sunday, which is the fifth Sunday, year B of the Revised Common Lectionary of the Easter season. So we're still in Easter. He is still risen. He is still risen indeed. And we are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And we're using that lens as we look at these passages in the Revised Common Lectionary. So this is where we've been this week. Let me go ahead and put this on the screen for you. This is our chart that we use every week to do our reading. So in the upper left-hand corner was Monday's reading, John 15, 1-8. This is the famous passage where Jesus says he is the true vine and we are the branches, and we need to stay connected to him. And when we do, there's fruit that will grow. And without him, nothing, right? And then on Tuesday, we read from 1 John 4, 7-21, which is all about God is love, right? And those who love are called of God, part of God. And so this love of God flows out to our neighbors. And if we don't love those around us, then we don't have the love of God in us, right? Perfect love casts out all fear. It's a beautiful passage. God is love. And then on Wednesday, our Old Testament day, during Eastertide, we are in the book of Acts, and chapter 8, verses 26-40 is about Philip's encounter with the Ethiopian eunuch. Great passage. And then yesterday, Psalm 22, verses 25-31. This is the psalm that Jesus quoted from the cross when he says, my God, why have you forsaken me? And it's amazing as you read a later section of this psalm that we find that it goes from despair to praise. And so it's interesting, when Jesus was quoting this psalm, he wasn't quoting it as a single verse. He was quoting it for the readers to understand that he is meaning the whole psalm. And that was a customary practice for rabbis in Judaism, is to quote the first verse, and then the disciples would then have to piece together the meaning of the psalm based on the whole of the passages. So despair to praise. Kind of reminds me of that song, Praise You in the Storm, right? And then, so what are the intersections? The center point of our chart there, intersections, Friday, April the 30th, I guess that's today, last day of April. And so here's some of the things that I wrote down. I wrote down, we are to abide in God's love. We are to abide, remain in God's love. This vine branches connection is one of love. It's this, what we read in Tuesday's passage in 1 John chapter 4 is God is love. Jesus, as the love of God, we connect to that and it flows to us. We abide in that love. And of course, the result of abiding, by remaining, by staying connected in that love, is that we bear the fruit of love. Love grows from us. We will be known as his disciples, by the way, that we love one another. So love is the fruit. It's the fruit of the Spirit, is love, joy, peace, patience. That first word, love, is the fruit that emerges as we stay connected to the source of love, the one who is love, the vine, Jesus, right? I wrote down fruit is love. We just mentioned that. I also wrote down this idea that we see in Wednesday's passage, Acts chapter 8 and Psalm 22, is this idea that God's love knows no boundaries, right? So God's love extends to the faraway nations, as it says in Psalm 22, or an Ethiopian eunuch who is a Gentile, who is unclean in multiple ways in the eyes of Jewish people. God's love goes beyond boundaries. So this picture in the background, let me put my chart down here, is just broken down walls, a broken down building. We love to erect buildings as boundaries. We stay in, keep people out, but God has this way of continuing to knock down the walls that we build. knock down the boundaries that we build, because his desire is for his love to extend to all people, right? And we see that in these passages. So I kind of put it together in this kind of one long sentence here. So here's the intersection for me this week. It's God extends the power and life of the resurrection into the lives of all people. It's the extension that flows from the resurrection outward, growing God's new creation to fill the earth. Ultimately will be fulfilled and completed at Jesus' second coming, but this is what's happening through the power of the Spirit as we work with God in his love, staying connected to that love. That love flows out, that fruit of love emerges. Anyway, that's what I got. So would you share with me your intersections? Share with me your thoughts for the week. I want to learn from you. We'll be back and we'll do this all over again next week. Grace and peace, everyone. Take care.